want y'all to do, starting down here at the end, I want you to put your foot on it like this. Now, if you have flip-flops, don't do this, okay? Only if you have tennis shoes on. Okay? And you're going to stomp it in there like that, okay? And then you're going to come up, and you're going to turn it over. So everything that's underneath is going to be flipped. Okay? And I want each one of y'all to do this. Take turns doing it. Do it 5 times. Flip it 5 different times and hand it to the next person. Because this is going to take a lot to do.
What is that?
And then if you need water, raise your hand and we'll bring you some, okay? Keep your hand raised just for a few seconds. Okay.
Get on there.
Okay, who had a goal of 60 minutes a day for working out? You had 60. If you were going to work out for 60 minutes to get your heart rate up, how many people had a goal of 60 minutes a day? Remember Johanna said you needed 60 minutes a day?
I got 40 out there.
We just got 40 out there. So guess what? How many more minutes do you have to get today?
20.
All right. Okay. So, y'all are almost there. And that wasn't that hard, was it? Okay, next week y'all are going to do some planting. Y'all are going to have some rose bushes to plant and some boxwoods to plant and some other plants, okay? I'm not for sure what they're going to bring. It's going to be a surprise. I'm sorry, what?
Are we going to do vegetables? Are we going to do vegetables? No.
No vegetables. It's a little late in the season and a little hot, so we're not going to do vegetables. But everything has to be done in steps. And we had to plan this out so everything is done in steps. Because if we had brought our plants today and we didn't bring that soil that we brought in, remember that amendments that we brought in? We wouldn't have been able to plant our plants, would we? They would have had to sit out there for another week in their pots and wait for the soil to get here. So everything has a step that we have to do. The first step was getting the soil tilled. The second step was adding the amendments in. The third step was to get it all shoveled in and mixed up together. Okay? Now the first step was the soil test that we did, right? We're going to send that off in a couple of weeks. We're going to be able to read that soil test when we get it back. Okay? But it's very important on what your soil is. And soil is made up of about 5 different things. Okay? Organic matter. Y'all know what organic matter is? Organic matter is living organisms that's in the sand, in the dirt, in the silt, in the clay. It's all living organisms in there. So you know how many living organisms we just touched and went past?
So it's like a life?
It's life, yes, microorganisms. Very small microorganisms. Okay? It's living plant organisms and animal organisms, okay? And guess how many we probably just came across? Thousands, that's right. In your average backyard, you have 100,000 living organisms in your sand, in dirt, in soil in your backyard. Did y'all know that? Now we have inorganic materials too. And that's your sand, your silt, and your clay. Those are your inorganic materials. Those are made from rocks after years and years of decomposing. Okay? It's eroded away by weather and wind and rain, and it forms different sand, silt, and clay. Now, I want to do a little representation here, okay? These little bitty beads is going to be clay. Okay? The marbles is going to be silt. And the bouncy balls, these are going to be what? Sand. Okay? Because sand particles are bigger than clay and bigger than silt. Okay? So just imagine if all you had in your backyard was clay. No sand or no silt. Okay? Do you think there's very much room for air and water in there? No. And what water is going to be in there is going to clog up and it's going to hold water, isn't it? It's not going to filter through easy, is it? Okay? I got a bag of sand clay over here. And clay is hard. All these little particles are bunched together. You see that? Not very crumbly. In fact, I could probably make a ball out of it. Look at that. And it's going to stick together. Okay? This is clay. Yes? Out of the clay. Well, when we were digging our fence posts in our backyard, my kids, every scoop we'd get out, they would be over there making clay animals with it. That's how much clay we have around our house. Now, the next one we're going to look at is silt. Now, in the silt, you think more air and water can get through there than in the clay? Because there's bigger gaps in between the particles, okay? You see that? So the water and all the nutrients can drain through better. So your plants aren't standing in water and they can absorb nutrients and water better from the ground up too. Because if you put a plant in here, their roots are going to be at the bottom and they're going to suck the water up. If you put plants in this clay, do you think it's going to suck very much water up in it? No. And nutrients? No. But in the silt, it can. Okay? Now, what about the sand?
Yes.
Sand, water drains through sand really fast. In some places that can be good, but in your flower bed, that's not too good because you're going to have to water more. And water uses a lot of natural resources, okay? So you don't want to have to water that much. And lately, has it rained very much? Keep your hands to yourself, please. It hasn't rained very much. So if your plants are going to live, we're going to have to water them out of the water hose. And we don't want to use a lot of water, so we want our soil to be as good as possible. Yes?
There you go.
That's on mine. Does anybody else need help filling this out? Yes.